What's up, cubers? My name's Kenneth. Today we're going to talk about the latest version of the Rubik's Futuro cube. So this new version comes with some new packaging, and the packaging is nice. One thing I like is it has a really great quick start guide, and it has a couple QR codes so you can quickly learn how to use the puzzle and also how to sync your scores online and compete. So that's pretty cool. It should get you guys right into it. But here is the actual Rubik's Futuro cube, the latest version. And if you haven't seen my other videos on the Futuro cube, you should definitely check it out if you're interested. I go a lot in depth in just kind of the basics of the cube, how it works, and also some of the apps that I developed for it. So anyway, here's how you turn it on. You rotate the cube in a circular fashion like this, but a lot quicker. So it turns on like that. And basically the way it works is when you rotate the puzzle like this, each one of these are a different app that you can play. So this one's called Roadrunner. It's one of my favorites. Basically, you tap the top to enter the app, and then you tap the puzzle, and then you have to keep that white dot on top. And so you go like that, and if you don't keep it on top, it starts going faster and faster, and then eventually it will run into a wall, and it will tell you what your score is. And you can compete online to see who can get the fastest and the highest score. And it's a really fun and cool game. And so this is only one of 14 games that come preloaded on the Futuro cube. Whoa, I'm doing really well. Oops, I ran into a wall. So anyway, that's how this one works. If you go into that circular motion again, it goes back into the menu, and you can select a different puzzle. And so they even have one here. It's called Cubris, and basically it's a version of Tetris. And you can move the piece around, and when you tap on the top, it places it on the top, and then you get another piece. And these are simple pieces. Here's a harder piece. If you tap on the side, it rotates that, and you can place it somewhere. We'll place it there. And eventually what happens is it gets harder to place pieces. If you fill up a whole side, then that whole side disappears. So that's how this one works. And eventually it will be hard to fill up, and the piece will be stuck here on the top. And if that happens, you lose. That's the basics of kind of how the Rubik's Futuro cube works. So the next I want to talk about what makes this new version different from the old version. The only real difference of this latest version versus the Futuro 2.0 is this one has a different plastic that's more transparent, and so the LEDs are much brighter. To my vision here, it looks much better than the old version, but unfortunately the camera just doesn't do it justice, and that's because the camera doesn't have a good enough dynamic range. Like when I look at this is pure blue to me, but the camera, it's the highlight is too bright, and so it's clipping, and all you guys see is white. And same with even in the middle of this one here. And this one is much brighter than that one, but the camera is just losing those highlights, and so it just doesn't do it justice. But visually, this one looks a lot better, and the LEDs, they look more 3D, more so than this one. These ones look just flatter, like they were painted onto the cube, or these ones look like they're kind of floating inside the cube, which I think looks a lot better, and it's brighter, so you'll be able to see it a lot better outside in the daylight as well. So anyway, I think it's a huge improvement. It's unfortunately, like I said, the camera's just not doing it justice. So one cool thing about the Rubik's Futuro cube is they keep improving the cube. They keep improving the firmware, and there's a new version of the firmware that just was released, and it's 8.0. And probably the coolest thing about this version is now more games will track your high score, and you can upload that to their website, and you can compete now on a couple more games. So let me show you some of those games. One of them is Ring Dream, which is on this second menu. You tap the side, it'll take you to the next menu. You can triple tap the app so that it will start fresh and start new.
Tap for shuffling.
And as you can see, it said tap for shuffling, so we can tap it and it's going to shuffle, and then it's going to time us to see how fast we can solve this puzzle. And basically what happens is as I move the cube around, it's highlighting different rings. So there's a ring around here, and if I turn it just a little bit, now there's a ring around these edges. And when I leave it on a ring and I tap it, that ring will rotate all the colors once clockwise. So this red one will come down here, the light blue will come down here, the dark blue will go over here. So let's just do it. We can see it rotated it. I can keep rotating it like this and by tapping it. And then you can select an edge ring. So now we have this edge ring, including this piece down here. And when I tap it, this green one will come here. This purple one will come up here like that. And so it rotates like that, and you have to solve the puzzle. And it's not too difficult. It's kind of the same difficulty of a really large 15 puzzle. You can compete with me and anyone else who has this puzzle by uploading your scores to FuturoCube's website. And that's really cool. So the next app that was updated so that you can now share your scores and compete online is this one, and it's called Gravity Challenge. And if you triple tap, it'll reset the game. So here's my challenge, and the challenge is you want to group all of the same colors together without touching any other color. So I want to get all the blues together, all these yellows together, and all the pinks together. And once I've done that, then I will win. And the way you move it around is whatever side is on top, whatever way you lean the puzzle, the pieces, when you tap the side, will move down as long as there's no piece in its way. So right now the only pieces on the top side are the blue and the yellow. And depending on how I hold it, if I tap the side, they'll both move down like that. Then the other thing the pieces will do is they will come off the side. So if we come to here, I can now tap it again, and this yellow one will come off the side like that. So anyway, that's the Gravity Challenge. It's a cool little game, and yeah, it's a cool puzzle.